We made a few mistakes. I had stopped breastfeeding, started overeating. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. Loved my body so much. Every time we thought we had hit rock bottom, we would go lower. But then there are so many good positive things that happen. There are no two babies that are the same, which is really fun, and he's doing so good because I felt like such a bad mom. I don't like the way I look, but mostly I don't like the way I feel. They're growing into a little buddy. Even now filming this, I feel so much guilt. My body did so much for me, but I feel like every circumstance is completely different. Having a baby tests you in so many ways. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a really hard time seeing myself without makeup on. I feel like every time I look at myself, I look so bad. I just cannot. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but anyways. We have a little cheeky monkey over here. Hi. And some coffee because I'm so tired. I wanted to chat about my 6 months postpartum update, talking about so many things. I wanted to chat about my mental health, my body image, and Oliver, and how he's doing, and how the past 6 months have been, pretty much, because I haven't really filmed that much postpartum. I didn't really talk about what was going on behind the scenes, and I feel like I need to talk about it. So throughout the day, I'll pop in and we'll have a little chat. But yeah, you have the cutest little smile, my baby. Good job. I think this video, along with my birth vlog, is one of the most honest and vulnerable content I've shared. Editing this, I felt so many things, proud to share my honest experience if I could help fellow parents who are in the trenches, but also guilt and shame that this was my experience, and fear because I was really scared of how it would be perceived. But I wanted to be as honest with my viewers as I am with my close circle, because I want to create relatable content, and to be someone you can trust will always keep it real and honest. Parenthood is challenging, but every day I look at my baby and I can't believe we created him and get to love him forever. Is it working? I'm not really sure. Also, welcome to the absolute horrendous light that is in this bathroom. That makes me want to crawl in a hole every single day because it's the worst. I feel like I should start with the issue that it wasn't always an issue. Body image, self-love, and stuff like that. It's been a really weird one for me because when I gave birth, right after, I felt so good. I loved my body so much. But at the same time, I was very sort of neutral about it. I didn't really give too much thought about it. When I was in the hospital and I was there for like 5 days, there was no mirror. There was only one in the bathroom, but you could only see your face and like until here. Yeah, I could not really see my body. I could not really analyze anything. Hold on. Poor thing cannot reach his toy. What was I saying? Like, yeah, I could not really analyze my body too much. I didn't have the time nor the energy to really think about it. It was a pretty weird time and I was just really tired. And you know, I just had a baby. There was so much to think about in terms of everything was really new. I just remember touching my stomach a lot. It was so squishy that was really funny, but I didn't really care about it too much. I was like, you just give birth. The thing was, I got home. I was like, oh, that's quite weird. I feel like I've lost a lot of weight. I weighed myself and indeed I had lost, I think, something insane, like 6 kilos, probably 7 maybe. That was insane. And I was like, okay, that's probably like the birth weight, baby literally, and the liquids and stuff like that. But since I was breastfeeding, I was on a high calorie diet, so I was not careful about what I ate or anything like that. That was not in my headspace at all. I was like, I'm breastfeeding, I need to produce milk for my baby. I got home and I was like, oh great, like perfect. So I was eating and I was starving all the time. After that, I lost a little bit more weight, and when shit hit the fan, like I will mention after, started hitting the fan, I started overeating. Trigger warning for anyone dealing with an eating disorder or recovering from one, because hi, that's me. Just be aware that I'm going to talk about food related to an eating disorder, but also weight gain and stuff like that. Just be aware of that. Love you if you need to leave all all good. All good. Take care of yourself first. I started overeating a bit and I didn't realize right away. My partner and I talked about it quite a bit, and we were like, we were eating like shit because we didn't have time. We didn't have time to do anything for ourselves. It was really difficult, and we were eating whatever was the quickest. Not a lot of vegetables, not a lot of fruit. I just was not doing great mentally as well, so I was really not careful about it whatsoever. We're going to go see baby because he's not very happy right now, so I'll finish my story there. This, otherwise it's going to be really, really cold, and I will have to do the bed, and I will have to make the bed after putting baby to sleep, I guess. Okay, so we're in the little play corner of Oliver's. That's the time of day when I play with him, usually for a little bit. So we'll do that. Hi, baby. Do you want to come with Mama, or do you want to still play in here? You decide. You want to come? Oh, you want to come cuddle Mama. It's okay. Yes. Where's your binky? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I'm gonna have to be really zoomed in. It's fine. After that, we were in the process of moving. It was just like, I didn't really think about it that much. I had gained a little bit of weight, but not that much at all. So I didn't really notice anything. By then, I had stopped breastfeeding. Yeah, because it was really difficult, whatever. I'll talk about it in a future video, I'm guessing, but I had stopped fully, which meant that I was not burning as many calories, but I was still eating like shit because everything was difficult, and that's my way of coping most of the time. Not great. Don't recommend, but it was not that bad. Also, I was really active because if you saw my moving vlog, we prepared everything ourselves, mostly like the two of us. My dad came one day, but that was it, and we had a little baby to take care of, so it was really non-stop. So you know, it was fine, and then we moved. Right here there was always something to do, so I was always on my feet. After that, I started like in November to kind of make him more comfortable with sleeping for naps in his crib, well, bassinet. That was a workout in itself. For like 4 naps, I had to do pretty much a full body workout because he needed to be, oh my goodness, have you, oh, kind of, yeah, threw up on me. That's okay. Where's your, is there, okay, there's one here. Life with the baby, you never know when they're going to throw up. It's all good, baby, it's all good. Mama's gonna clean it up, okay? I needed to rock him, I needed to bounce him, I had to do deep squats. I was always moving, and honestly, like, even my watch was telling me that I was like in cardio mode most of the time. It lasted for at least 3 weeks. I lost weight. I definitely noticed that I lost weight in my like middle section, like my belly, but also I gained a lot of muscle during those workouts, and that was great, and I was really happy with that. And then in December, we had something happen in the family, and we were back at my parents, and I started eating for comfort again. It was a really difficult time and a lot of changes. Oliver was struggling a lot as well, so we were struggling, and we were on to our 5th month with him, and it was really difficult. I was still not sleeping, so I did what I could. And I'm saying that because I've talked many times with my therapist about my eating disorder and overeating and stuff, but also about other things. And her thing is like, you did what you could at that time, like you did your best at that time, and that's enough. It's really hard for me to think like that because since we've got back, I've been looking at my body. I'm like, you know, roller coaster. Since his birth, I feel like I didn't take care of myself properly, and I don't like the way I look, but mostly I don't like the way I feel. I had one pair of jeans that fit me, doesn't fit me anymore. I didn't like it, but whatever. Bending forward, sometimes it's hard because I gain weight mostly in my midsection area and my thighs a little bit and my arms. The midsection area is really annoying and always triggering for me. My arms as well. I can see it in my face, like my face is rounder. I have a double chin, and it's really hard. I'm saying this and I'm being smiley and whatever, but it really hit me yesterday. I got my period yesterday, which was really late, but also I did a workout and I didn't feel better after because I put on a pair of leggings that I hadn't worn in a long time, and it fit really differently, and I was struggling throughout the entire thing. This has been a roller coaster. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to be okay with it. It doesn't always happen, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I had a baby. I'm 6 months postpartum. I'm doing as best as I can, and that's all I'm trying to remember. My body did so much for me. So I've been sitting here. I didn't have enough space on my SD card, so I had to unload everything. Realized I had filmed something in November, December time, which is great, but it meant that I couldn't film the next part of the video that I wanted. So I'm gonna charge you because you're flashing, and I'm going to get him ready for the day. Hi. Good morning. Hi. Cheeky boy. Okay, we have a little baby playing over there. If you hear a few noises, that's him. I'm gonna do my makeup, which is always very quick because I do not have time to spare, but I really like doing that. And I hadn't done my makeup in a few days. Like yesterday, before that, it had been probably maybe a week or something because I was running out of a few products. Also, felt like I didn't really have the energy to do it, and it was actually a pretty bad decision because I felt like trash. When I do my makeup, it honestly makes me feel better because I feel like I've put a little bit of effort on myself. You okay? And it just makes me feel, you know, I take care of myself a little bit. I don't know. I wanted to chat about mental health. The past 6 months have been some of the hardest months ever. And we were talking about this with my partner yesterday. Until 10 days ago, we were struggling so hard that every time we thought we had hit rock bottom, we would go lower. I remember on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we looked at each other and we were like, we can't take this anymore. The major problem we've had since he was a newborn has been sleep. It was just absolutely horrible because he would not sleep on his own. He would always need to sleep on us as a newborn, which, you know, is to be expected, but when you're living through it, it's very hard. But the issue was as well that he would not fall asleep on his own. So we had to rock him, bounce him, do all the things. I had to do it at night after breastfeeding him, which meant that many times I was awake for 2 hours before going back to sleep and doing it all over again like a couple hours after for the next feeding. So that was really hard, but you know, at the beginning you have a bit more energy so you can kind of go through it and be fine. But after months of that, it was really hard, and then we moved. So we had all of the tiredness of the move in itself, getting used to a new place ourselves, but also, like I mentioned, Oliver was struggling a lot with the move. I was finding myself in a new place with unpacking and stuff to do, even though I didn't put pressure on myself to do anything too much. But it was also hard because Oliver was doing better when we were at my parents', and then we got here and all of a sudden he was super clingy, super nervous. Whenever I would leave the room, he would cry. He would not sleep anywhere else but on me during the day. So that was really hard for me to go through because he would be on me, but he would be like 3 months old or something, and I have lower back issues, so bending forward with him was not great anyways, but also having to squat down anytime I wanted to clean or unload the dishwasher was a whole thing. Cooking meals was a whole thing. I was really nervous. I had to do so much to get him to sleep, and I was always nervous that he would wake up because I would have to do it all over again, or he would be in such a bad mood that he was very fussy. I was so tired, it was really overwhelming. I sensory wise, it was really hard for me, and I've noticed that I'm very sensory sensitive, so that was a whole thing. Then, like I mentioned, in November I kind of trained him to sleep in his crib. It was horrible. It gave me so much anxiety anytime I had a nap coming soon or when he was napping, because I knew that it would be very short, but also that he probably would struggle at some point during it and I would have to go back and do it all over again. And during the night it was really hard. Evening nights were super hard. Sometimes I would go to bed at like midnight and have a feeding like at 4, and it wasn't very difficult. And then in December we had the big major life thing. It was so difficult to deal with. We were like, okay, every time we think something is going to get better, it gets worse. Very hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've mentioned it, I don't remember where, but I think he's seeing himself in there's a mirror. That is what it is. he's looking at himself in the mirror and it's like distortion thing. Is it so funny? Oh my goodness, he's so cute. And I'm saying this about the hardest time, but it's fine. So yeah, we were struggling and being like, I was really struggling to think, even kind of comprehend that it could get better because it was so bad and I felt like I can't do this anymore. You know, like my partner had started a new job. Well, it's actually not that far away from here, but with traffic, it's really hard. So he leaves in the morning at like 6:30, get to work at 7, and he leaves work at 4 and gets here around 5 o'clock, which is not that bad, but I take care of him the entire day and during the night, and it's challenging and everything. And so when he would get home, I would be exhausted already. He is exhausted by his work and learning new things and how everything works. And so it was really difficult already. And then we have to kind of move to my parents for 3 weeks, get Oliver used to a new place all over again. And then we come back here, we have to do it all over again at home. And we were like just not doing great. We were so exhausted already. Like, you know, the holidays are quite tiring when you see family a lot and whatever, but with a baby, that's a huge thing. We had talked in December about getting Oliver to go to a nanny's a few times a week because I was struggling so hard with overtiredness. I don't want to say it, but it's probably true, depression. And I felt like I needed to be myself a bit more, and I needed to slowly go back to work, to doing things for myself, for my future, for something that would use my brain basically differently. And so we decided that he would go to a nanny a few hours a week. And then I was like, you know what, it's not actually enough for me if we can do it. I would like to kind of start work part-time. He loved being with family during the 3 weeks that we were away, and we were seeing a lot of people. He thrived. And so I was like, actually, I think he needs to see other kids, other people. I'm very confident in my decision now, but it was really hard to take because I felt like such a bad mom, because so many moms take care of their child for the entire day and are totally fine with it and love it and are like, this is the best job in the entire world, which is totally true. But I feel like every circumstance is completely different. It depends if you have a partner who works far away or not far away, if you have family nearby or not, but also how you're feeling, how your baby is. I don't like using those words, but you will understand better. But if it's needy or clingy, or if it's completely independent, if it sleeps well or not, plays a huge part in how you're feeling your postpartum, but also your experience as a new mom. For me, it has been really difficult and I've had to accept it, and I hate saying that. And even now filming this, I feel so much guilt saying all of those things because at the end of the day, I love him so much. What has changed recently is that we started sleep training him because falling asleep, like I mentioned, was horrible. We could not do it any longer. So I tried for weeks and weeks and weeks to do research on my own to find ways, and I tried so many techniques and stuff. It was just not working with Oliver at all. And then I was like, you know what? I've heard about her for a long time, taking care of babies. And I looked at it, and then I was really lucky because at the end of November, she had a sale, Black Friday or something, Black Friday and Cyber Monday probably. And I was like, you know what, we'll try this. I am at the end of my rope. I can't do this anymore. We started last week, and the week before that, we got him, bless you, we got him used to a few things of the technique so that it wouldn't be too brutal on him. You will not believe me. The first night, it was difficult for 30 minutes, fell asleep on his own, then woke up twice during the night, got himself back to sleep. Next morning was up pretty early, and then after that was it. He would pretty much fall asleep on his own every single night. He wouldn't even fuss that much. During the night, he fusses for like 2 minutes, falls back asleep. And even in the morning, he started towards the end of the week falling back asleep on his own in the morning if he woke up at like 6:30. So sometimes I even have to wake him up. It's just like completely life-changing. So it means that I'm able to sleep on my own because he's in his bed bedroom now. He is so much more independent with his sleep. The only thing is naps, but that comes after, like she said he falls asleep on his own at naps, which is incredible. And it's just like he doesn't sleep for that long. He does like 50 minutes, which is like one sleep cycle. You can hear he's so happy, and it changes everything. And he's starting at a nanny's beginning of February, I think, and that's going to be incredible as well. So my mental health since deciding all of that has changed so much. I am more hopeful for the future. I feel more rested. I feel more clear-headed, but I'm still very much suffering from, I think, burnout. I need to have a doctor's appointment, see my therapist or something to talk about it, but now that I'm saying it, I think it's pretty true. So it's going to take a few weeks or even a few months to feel like myself again, I'm pretty sure. I'm so much more hopeful, and I'll talk about it later because it's going to be so annoying for you to hear him in the background, and it's time for his lunch, so let's go. I was literally about to start doing some work because I was chilling on the couch, because it's so funny. I was telling my partner, well, fiance, I'm having a hard time saying that. Not that I don't like it, it's just the word is really weird. That for the past 2 days, I found myself having to kind of be on the couch for a little bit after lunch and just like rest. Whereas before, I would always, as soon as he would go for a nap, I would try my best to do something productive on my laptop. I haven't been able to do that. Like straight after lunch, I have to kind of chill for a little bit, and I was chilling on the couch and I was like, oh, it's been a while, but I feel like he's going to sleep for a long time, because usually like a sleep cycle is 40 to 50 minutes, and he was on to like an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes or something. And I was like, oh yeah, because I'm so tired, I'm even worse in mouth. And I was calculating and I was like, oh yeah, I have like about 20-30 minutes to do a few things. He woke up. I have a coffee because that's my life right now. I'm gonna go get him. We also have to go out today because he has a doctor's appointment at 5:15 for his 6 months kind of checkup. You know, like they do a monthly checkup. Well, I'm saying, you know, but I'm like, in France, that's how it is. You have to go to the doctor every month to get the baby checked and see that everything's progressing well, so that you can ask questions, like a regular appointment.
Where are you hiding? Hi, my little boy. Hello, my little baby. We're gonna leave Foxy in bed, okay? You wanna look outside? Ooh. See? It's so bright. Because it's finally really sunny. Did you have a nice sleep?
Okay, so I put him on his like mat to play. Hi. Are you having fun? Yes. He learned 2 things recently. He's learned to flip over, which is really fun, and he's doing so good. And he's learned to do bubbles with his mouth, and it's the funnest thing, but also not practical because he wants to do it every time, and even when he's eating, which is a bit annoying sometimes. Anyways, he's going to play for a little bit, but I really wanted to kind of talk about his progression, kind of, now that he is 6 months old. I want to say that the first like 3-4 months, well, 3.5 months, I want to say, are a bit less fun in the sense that you can't really play with them. They're not as aware of the world. They're watching everything, like he's very observant, but at the same time, you can't really play with them. They're not really smiling or acting like they understand what's going on, and you know, it's a one-sided relationship. It's like one way of communicating. You don't really know if they're receiving anything. However, they're really cute and they're small. They don't really know how to sleep. They don't really know the difference between day and night really well, especially in the early weeks. They don't really understand the world, I want to say. But then after like 3.5-4 months, I really noticed a difference. He started smiling pretty quickly, and it was the cutest thing. He was really observant and watching everything. It was really fun. He started playing, actually kind of interacting in play with people. That was really nice, and that's when it really, you know, it hits you that you have a child who is not just a baby. They're growing into a little buddy, and you can play with them, and they kind of start chatting. He was so talkative, which I loved, and we were pretending that we were having a conversation pretty much, because I noticed that it was really helping him understand conversations. The one thing for us was the lack of sleep to be completely fair, I think we made a few mistakes along the way, and that's why he wasn't sleeping early on, because as first-time parent, we have no idea what we're doing. And I'm a very big research person, so I did a lot of research. I spent like 2 years watching a lot of vlogs about birth and pregnancy and then postpartum and everything, but that's also why I'm filming this kind of very raw videos in the sense of what I'm saying, because when I was watching those videos, they were not really talking about the reality of having a newborn and a baby. And I was like, so is it just me? Like, is it just my experience? And I'm a big believer in when you share with people, you share information that is so valuable because it's your experience that you're sharing, it's what you've lived through, but it's also what you've learned along the way. And I think for us, that was a big learning curve, is that there are no two babies that are the same. You have your own baby, you have your unique experience, your unique situation, and that's why you go through what you go through. So you can have tips and stuff like that, but you can never really know what to do. And I think for the sleep part, for us, it was really something we were not expecting for it to go that bad. But then there are so many good positive things that happened, you know, like he was really smiley, he was chatting away, he really showed that he has affection for us, which is so damn cute. Now it's really fun to be around him. He sleeps so much better, he's on rhythm, he can roll over so easily and grab toys. He has learned to move toys from one hand to the other, to choose which toy he prefers, and he smiles at you. He understands when you're having fun with him. It's just the cutest little bunny. In 6 months, so much happens, and it's quite crazy because when he turned 6 months old a few days ago, I was like, at the same time, I feel like I've lived, I'm not gonna exaggerate, but like half a lifetime so far. I'm nearly 30, half a lifetime of lessons in 6 months. And you know, when people say you talking about their baby and being like, you've taught me so much already, and it's not like the baby teaching you, it's having that baby teaching you things about yourself. And I feel like in 6 months he has grown so much, and we've gone through so many hardships, so difficult things that honestly it kind of broke us because it was so hard. And we were really lucky because it didn't break us as a couple. We are pretty solid. I mean, we've been together for nearly 14 years. We've lived through pretty much everything together. Thankfully we had each other. It really did a number on us as people, and having a baby tests you in so many ways, but you go through it and then you come on the other side and you're so much stronger. But also you take no shit from anyone. You don't listen to everybody giving you their opinion because you know what you're doing at that point. You know a bit better, but also you advocate for you, but also for your child. And I found myself being so much more assertive than I've ever been before, and more confident because I know what I'm doing, because I know that what I'm doing is for my child. And that's very different from advocating for yourself when you're advocating for your baby. I remember when we got here, we found a doctor that was the only one available pretty much, so we had to go see her. I told her that he was not sleeping well, that he was really struggling with falling asleep and everything, and she told me, oh, have you tried just letting him cry it out? And I looked at her and I'm like, that doesn't work with him, in the sense that after 5 minutes he's literally like in panic mode. And she's like, yeah, because he knows that you're coming back for him. I'm like, isn't that the point of parenthood, of having a child kind of rely on you, being confident that you will be there for them whatever happens? Even when it's difficult, I really try to enjoy it because I know that I won't get that day back. I think it helps me on days when it's really difficult. And at the same time, it's really not easy to think that way when I'm in the trenches and I'm just waiting for bedtime. I just look at him and I'm like, he's never going to be that young again. And when I look back on photos, I want to make sure that I am looking forward to what's to come, but not feeling like I've missed on things. And it's really not easy, let me tell you. He's the cutest though. Like, look at him.
Parenthood so far has been such a roller coaster, but it really does get better. And after the 6 months mark, we really found that we were different people, different parents. Everything was so much fun. We were able to enjoy him so much more, and we were more confident as parents and in what we were doing, and really able to enjoy it. So if you're a parent in the trenches, it does get better.